Welcome, oil campers. We are so excited to have you here with us this month to learn a little bit more about doTERRA and how to use your oils and your products. I'm here with your coaches, and we're all going to share a little bit about what got us interested in doTERRA and a little bit of a background story about ourselves. So we just are so grateful that you're here and can't wait to help you out. The purpose of us being here is to really just be there for you, to answer your questions, and to guide you as you're learning. So keep that in mind. Never hesitate to ask questions or to reach out to any of us. So we've got most of our coaches on the call tonight, and we're missing one. So my name is Camille Baucom. We also have Helene and Chelsea, Jamie. We've got Tina. We've got Susan Cooley, who couldn't make it on the call tonight, but she'll be sharing some great oil educational information with you throughout the camp. And then we've got Melissa and we've got Julie. So you'll be hearing from each of us and you'll be seeing our names throughout this 2-week program. So a little bit of background about myself. I got started with doTERRA back in September of 2013. I was pregnant with our second baby and I was looking for natural solutions. And I had a neighbor that was from Alaska come over with her oil kit, and she introduced me to doTERRA. And I was so grateful to have these natural solutions that I could use for my family. And I just felt like as a mom, I was empowered to take care of my family from our home and not have to resort to modern medicine. And the more I use them, the more I realized there are so many uses for each one of these bottles, and there's so much that you can replace in your own home with doTERRA's oils and products. So I hope you get to learn a little bit more about that this month as you participate in Oil Camp, and I really appreciate you joining us. And I'm going to introduce to you Helene. Helene is somebody that enrolled with me pretty early on, I think a couple months in, and she is going to share her story with you now.
Awesome. Hi, everybody. My name is Helene, and I was blessed to be introduced, like Camille said, by Camille. My backstory is that I have struggled with knee issues since I was a teenager, and my care had been pretty much the same for that time since a teenager. But as I'd aged, I realized that I wasn't able to cope as well. I wasn't able to compensate like I used to. So I was starting to have problems in my feet and problems in my hip. Then in November of 2013, we lost a baby, our 5th child, Teresa. Probably due in part to the fact of those treatments that I was receiving for these issues that I had. So I believe the death of our 5th child kind of had me looking for another option, another path other than the one I had trod for the past 30 years. So I'm very grateful, and I couldn't imagine my life without doTERRA. And I've been able to bless so many people, and one of those people that I'm going to introduce is Mona Maldonado, or Melissa, if you know her as Melissa. So she's actually enrolled through my cousin, who enrolled her friend from work, Abby, and Abby enrolled Mona, who's her niece.
Hi, everyone. I'm Melissa. Can you hear me? My doTERRA journey actually started back in 2014 when my Aunt Abby introduced me to essential oils, and she was sending me all this literature, and I kind of just kept brushing her off and not really reading any of the stuff she sent to me. And it took her about a year of doing this, and finally, unfortunately, it wasn't until my mother had gotten very ill and she had passed away, and then I had gotten ill, and I was seeing doctors and on a lot of medication, and it just wasn't doing what it was supposed to do for me. And I was sitting next to my Aunt Abby at my grandmother's house on the couch one night, and she whips out her roller bottle bag of all her blends, and I go, "Oh, what's that?" She goes, "The oils." So I try them, and I put them here, I put them everywhere. And I went home that night and had the best sleep ever after not being able to sleep for days at a time at that time. And I called her up the next morning frantically, "Where do I get this stuff? I need this in my life." And I enrolled immediately, and it has been such a blessing for me and my kids and my friends and my family. And I'm really not sure how we would be getting along today without all the wonderful things that I've learned through doTERRA and all the amazing, kind people that I've been introduced to through doTERRA. And so I'm 2 years in and a faithful user, and looking forward to each and every day of sharing this with more people and helping them learn what I've learned.
Awesome. Thanks, Melissa. We appreciate you being here. And now I want to introduce Julie. And Julie was enrolled through a whole line of different people, but Melanie was the second person who enrolled with me. She was a neighbor back in Peachtree City, and she enrolled Sean, who enrolled Leah, who then enrolled Julie. So take it, Julie.
Okay there, I'm Julie. Let's see, I started diffusing essential oils about 2.5 years ago, and I was one of those that didn't start out with doTERRA. I hadn't heard of doTERRA at the time, so I was using oils from a health food store, so I was one of those people. Had no idea at the time about the difference in the quality. But anyway, I'm originally from Alabama, living in Georgia now, and I am a skeptic by nature. I like to read and research and get all the facts that I can before I jump into anything. So pre-kids, I did work in healthcare marketing, and after our kids were born, we moved and I became a stay-at-home mom. And everything was pretty great until our daughter was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes when she was 8. And that was about 10 years ago. But after her diagnosis was when I really became interested in learning more about nutrition and just what is causing so many health problems, especially in our kids. I think today there's so many kids that are being diagnosed with conditions that we never even really heard of when we were growing up. So that's kind of a red flag to me that something's not right. I'm a big gardener. I love teaching kids how to garden and grow their own food, and that's kind of how I made the connection between essential oils and how they can help our bodies, because essential oils come from plants. So anyway, I'm glad to be here and love all the people I've met through doTERRA, and I'm looking forward to doing this training with everybody. Thanks.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing, Julie. And thank you, Mona. All right, next I'd like to introduce Chelsea. She actually is the first person I ever enrolled, and she enrolled just a few days after I did. She knew what she wanted, and she called me up and said, I'm ready. So I'll let you tell her story, or I'll let you tell your story.
Hi, everybody. My name is Chelsea Hahn. We live in Georgia now. We just spent a year in Korea. So I'm married to an Air Force guy. I have 5 kids. I hear them out there. They're getting ready for bed, but I can still hear them. Let's see. I had never heard of oils before I went to a craft fair one day on base in Mississippi. And my friend said, these are natural medicine. And I was like, I like that concept. That is my thing. I'm kind of a hippie. I really, really like stuff like this. So it was right up my alley. I was ready for it. And I looked at all the kits and I thought, I think all of them make sense to me. So I had to get them all. And now that's like my thing. I have to have a slot for every oil and they have to all be filled all the time. So it was fortunate that we had them all handy, because almost immediately
Did she cut out? Hang on, Chelsea, you cut out. Let's see. Well, let's see if she comes back in. I can pick up right where she left off. If not, almost immediately her husband. Oh, here, you're back. You cut out right after.
did I disappear?
Yeah, right after you said almost immediately. So we're all
Oh no.
what happened.
Oh man, mine is bad. I wonder if it's because I'm in my room. Can you still hear me?
Well, I can sort of hear you. Let's see.
Okay, well, you're going to have to go on without me.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll take it from there because I kind of know her story. Almost
Yeah.
immediately, her husband got bit by a spider, which I think it was like a brown recluse. Is that right? Or black widow? One of those. It was dangerous and scary. And she had all her oils. And I think you said you grabbed, is it Melissa that you used on it right away? Whatever it was, you had to have the bigger kit. And she had it. And they didn't have to take him to the ER. He was totally fine. They were able to heal the spider bite that was really actually dangerous naturally. And so I think right away with their results, they became, believers. And that was just the first story out of many. Chelsea, I hope.
Yeah, out of many, many. You got it. Got it.
All
Why
right.
I do this now it's about freedom.
That's right. Yeah, we love, as young moms, that's like something that I know attracted both of us. It's just having that freedom in your own home to take care of all of these things, these health issues that might pop up in your home. And so that's something that we both with young children have been able to do time and time again. My oldest is 6. I have 3 and 1 on the way. And Chelsea, I think, is Kylie 7 now. I think Chelsea's oldest is 7. So, young kids, and we've been able to just tackle a million health issues with the oils and just having them in our home. It's just that peace of mind that really attracted us. Thank you for sharing, Chelsea. I hope I got your story okay. I'm going to introduce now Tina. So I met Tina, let's see, I started in 2013. So I think I got to meet Tina in 2014 when I was doing Diamond Club and traveling around. And so Tina was enrolled beneath me, like about 2 people beneath me. So we actually just got to meet through doTERRA. So I love that. I love that through the company, you have these connections and you make these relationships with people. And I'll let Tina share her story.
Hey, Camille, thank you. Yes. Can you hear me? Okay. Yeah, it's been a great journey so far. I started in August of 2014, and just shortly thereafter, actually in September, you came to visit us here in North Carolina. And like I said, it's been a great journey. We've met and become really good friends with Camille and Helene, and I could just mention others. And my journey is probably a little bit different than everybody else. I started actually to help my sister, and I thought, well, we'll see what happens. And, it's just, things have just happened, and the oils have just helped us tremendously with so many different things. And now I share them with everybody at work and friends, and it's just, I get a call just about daily. What can I use for this? So, welcome to the camp this month. It's going to be great. We look forward to working with you and helping you learn, and don't hesitate to ask any questions at all that you might have, because we can all pitch in and help you, and that's what we're here for. So enjoy camp, and I look forward to meeting and helping everyone. Have a great evening.
Thanks, Tina. All right, Jamie, you're up next. So Jamie's kind of a similar situation. I've met Jamie through doTERRA. So once again, a great relationship that I've made through this company and just through the journey of helping other people. I haven't had a chance to meet Jamie in person. Hopefully sometime soon. That would be awesome. But anyways, I'll let Jamie share her doTERRA story with you.
Okay, can you hear me? All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Jamie Kenner, and I have been with doTERRA since March of 2015. My niece introduced us to doTERRA. She had been posting about all these essential oils, and I finally said, we need to find out what this is all about. So we went to Alabama, met with her, immediately signed up with the kit. I remember my husband saying, "You're not going to sell these, are you?" And I said, "No, I'm not going to sell them. I just want to use them. I want to find out about them." Well, 2 years later, here we are. And I am an elite advocate, which I'm very excited about. doTERRA just kind of fell into place with us. We have always gardened. We've ran farmers markets. We've always looked at doing things naturally. We have a variety of animals, farm animals. So I really like the natural aspect of everything. And I knew we had made a right decision when one of our teenagers, one of our daughters, asked for rosemary instead of asking for an over-the-counter medicine when she had a headache. So that was perfect, you know, and we haven't looked back. There are so many uses for these oils. If one doesn't work for one thing, you can just move to the next oil. I actually had a phone call this evening where my mother-in-law said, hey, I have Melaleuca. Why do I have Melaleuca? So I said, well, you could have it for this or this, and named off about 15 different things. So the oils are wonderful. It makes your life better. So I'm excited to meet everyone and see you at Oil Camp. Thanks, Camille.
Thank you, Jamie, for sharing. Thanks all you coaches for sharing your stories. And thank you all you campers for joining us. And I hope you've learned a little bit about each of us, and just know, like everybody said, that we're here for you and to help guide you. And we look forward to sharing more with you in the next 2 weeks.